Luke Skywalker's lightsaber has taken many forms throughout the original trilogy. Everyone knows the iconic hero saber with the circuit board and glowing LEDs, but today we're looking at something a little different. His stunt saber. Here's what most fans never notice. The stunt saber swaps the complex electronics for a stripped-down Graflex clamp. It's cleaner, tougher, and built specifically for one thing: the high-impact action shots that make Star Wars so legendary. So let's break down what makes this saber special, and it all starts when you open up the box. Inside, you're going to have, of course, your beautiful Luke Skywalker hilt. This thing's really beautiful, and we will get to it in just a second. In here, you're also going to have some other accessories like a lightsaber stand where you can go ahead and display it. You will have your manual, which will tell you all your directions on how to use it. And this saber is app controlled, so I'll show you guys how to utilize that app as well. One thing I find really cool in here, actually two things. One are it comes with a separate circuit board. So if you open this up, you will see there's a really neat design, and in the saber itself, this will slide out. I'll show you guys how to do that, and you can replace it. You will also have not one, but two lightsaber plugs. These are really great because this one's a just traditional one that when you put in, you have this handle here that you can go ahead and grab it easily and pull it in and out. But this one is super beautiful. You actually have the Jedi logo on it, and when you put it in, it sits a little more flush with the hilt, and when you turn it on, it'll actually emit the light through, so that makes for a really cool display. And of course, in here you will also have a couple other things like your cable to charge your hilt, your micro SD, so you can go ahead and change out any sound fonts or anything like that and download them and install them from here. And of course, all your accessories like your Allen wrench on here. I love that they have one with a cool handle like this, and then some extra screws in here as well. And of course, you're going to have your neopixel lightsaber blade chilling in the back here, which is a 1-inch diameter. Now, one thing I really like about this case is it comes in a heavy-duty, hard-sided case with some locks here. So if you are traveling and want that little bit of added security of a number lock, you get that with this hilt, which is really awesome. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at our hilt and how to swap out this circuit board. And thank you so much to Neosabers for graciously sending over this hilt for us to review. And if you guys enjoy it and want to get your hands on one, make sure to use our code FALCON to save 10% on your purchase. To swap this out, what you're going to want to do is just slide out the circuit board that's there. But be super careful because on the back there is actually a spring here that pops out. It literally shot me in the eye, so seriously, be careful. You can just put that back in there, and then you can just push this down and slide the new one back in. I love this little added feature of just being able to kind of customize it and personalize it a little bit more. You have to be careful with that spring. And once you get it in, I did find in the box these kind of stickers in there. I believe these are double-sided, so once you kind of pick out the board that you want, you can stick those down. That way it's not sliding around if you're kind of cosplaying with it or anything like that, or you're not shooting yourself in the eye with the spring. Now, as you are looking at this hilt, it probably looks familiar to you, and that is because it is very similar to Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber. So we're actually gonna pull that one out and compare them and see what is a little bit different. Now that we have both sabers side by side, you can see how similar they really are. And that's for a couple different reasons. Lore-wise, Luke built his saber using schematics he found of Obi-Wan's saber build. And then prop-wise, they actually used Alec Guinness's prop saber to recreate and use a lot of the same parts for Luke's prop saber. So as you can see, a lot of the parts are the same, but simplified a bit on Luke's. So the grenade section in here looks very similar, but Luke's isn't quite as defined. It doesn't look like the actual grenade part. And here the emitters are very, very similar. We just have this like clean new version of Luke since he did just build it. And then the main part that carries that similarity is the Graflex part on here. And this is what differentiates the Luke stunt saber versus his hero saber that we see. So in here, we don't have the circuit board and lights. We have the Graflex clamp on here to resemble Obi's original saber. And we have that simplification down here at the bottom. So I really love how all of that was carried over from master to apprentice. To assemble your lightsaber, it's going to be super easy. You're just going to take your blade and insert it to the top of the hilt in the emitter section. It already came with the screws in there, so you're just gonna take your wrench and go ahead and tighten those up. There are a few in here, so you'll just wanna go around and put all of those in. You don't need to go too tight with them, as you can kind of dig into the blade itself, but just enough so that when you are swinging, you're not going to throw it out of the blade across the room into your TV, because that would not be fun, or into a loved one. That's not fun either. Now, one thing I will say about this hilt is it doesn't go very far into the emitter section like some others, and the saber doesn't have a separate attachment to make it longer because they want to keep it as screen accurate as possible. So I think it would be a really good saber for putting on display, cosplaying with, and also doing some swinging and tricks and stunts with. But I don't think I would recommend doing heavy combat, maybe light combat, just because it doesn't go in far. I'd be afraid you might kind of break the hilt. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to actually play with our lightsaber. And a couple of my favorite features are always the twist to ignite on these neopixels. So all you have to do is twist the hilt to turn it on and off. And when it's on, it will have a beautiful smooth swing. So you can hear how super responsive that is. And in the app, you can make all these adjustments and changes to it as well. So I want to go ahead and show you guys that. In the Xeno app, you will be able to fully control your lightsaber, which I love. To turn it on, you can tap on the kyber crystal and it will ignite it, which is really cool. And in here, you can see all your different features. So we have our clash, blaster effect, lock, drag. Now, with your drag, there's one very important step you're gonna need to do, which is go down here to your settings. And at the very top, you're gonna wanna adjust your main blade length. So for your blade that comes with your hilt, go ahead and set that right at 129 and you'll be good. And the reason that is to see that drag effect at the tip, you'll have to have it at the correct length. If it's any higher, you're not gonna see it. And if it's lower, you're gonna have a blank space here at the top, which we don't want. Now, a couple awesome features you can do is we have a green blade right now. Say you want a different color, you can do standard color change. So here it's gonna cycle through a bunch of different colors, kind of the typical ones, your whites, blues, reds, greens. Once you get to one you want, you can just tap that again and it is set. Now say you wanna get a little more intricate and you want some of those cool in-between colors. Go ahead and tap infinite color here in the app. And it will go through all the little shades of RGB in here. So if you want to get to those really unique colors, some like seafoam green here, seafoam blue here, we can go ahead and do that. And then just tap it when you get to the color you want and you are all set. And then if you want to get to that a little quicker, if you hold down here on the screen on your kyber crystal, you're going to get this color wheel that pops up and you can go right to the color that you want. And now we're back at green. Now, one of the cool features about NeoPixel sabers is all your sound fonts. So if you tap here, you will see we have 34 of them pre-installed, which is really awesome. And each one is going to have a different ignition, color, sound fonts, all of that. So let's check out Moonfield. And this one's pretty unique. So we have this rainbow effect, a really cool sound font, and a super slow ignition up the blade. And then we can cycle through a bunch of different ones. So let's check out some of the sound fonts already installed for you. I really love the blade effect on here. It's kind of a cool pulsing flamish blade. That magenta blade is so pretty. So as you can see, there are tons of fonts already pre-installed on here and so much customization you can do. And you can get even more intricate if you want to download stuff online and install it right into the app to play with. I hope you guys enjoyed this Luke review, and remember, if you want to get your hands on one, use our code FALCON at neosabers.com. If you guys want to see how to enjoy your saber and have even more fun playing with it over at Galaxy's Edge, make sure to check out the video on the side, and I will see you guys there.